That was a huge upset when she won in 2018 on the Gold Coast.
And Chemetai's fallen. She's really feeling the fatigue. She crashed over that barrier, Tim, went down, and now she's letting her adrenaline fly. And she's doing well here to get back into this race. So we had a faller in the form of the Australian Erbacher, but the woman in second place, the Olympic champion, has gone down and has lost touch with the leader. There's Bird. What a battle for the bronze and the silver now.
Well, that's an indication of fatigue creeping in, isn't it? When you're tired in the steeplechase, those errors happen, and you really pay in spectacular fashion trying to clear those barriers. If you smack into them, they don't budge. You do. Your flesh and bone moves, not the barrier itself. They're very heavy indeed. Well, Chepkoech, the reigning world under-20 champion, surely heading for gold now after that fall halfway round the penultimate lap from Pureth. And what a run this is from Lizzie Bird. 9th at the Olympic Games last year. The 27-year-old could be heading for a personal best here. The 2K time, remember, 6:08. How quick will this final lap be covered in this final kilometre?
We're in for a spectacular conclusion here because, yes, it looks like the World Junior Champion is heading for the gold. But watch Lizzie Bird in third. No English woman has ever won a medal in this event, and she's closing in on the Olympic champion.
She is indeed there. Send her a picture. Lizzie Bird in the white and red of England. The crowd on their feet, roaring her on. That gap was 50 or 60 metres for most of the race. Then, of course, the Olympic champion, Pureth, had that awkward fall a lap ago. And Lizzie Bird closing right up on the Ugandan. Bird moves into second place, and she will get a massive surge of adrenaline from that move and from the roar of the crowd as Chepkoech eases into the straight now, heading surely for the Commonwealth gold. But watch the clock. This is going to be quick. The fastest time in the Commonwealth Games, that, of course, held by Nzikuru in that initial version of the steeplechase in the Commonwealth Games. 9:21 is the Commonwealth record. She's going to smash that. And Lizzie Bird closing all the time. Kenya take gold. England a fabulous silver. And Uganda, the Olympic champion, back in third place. Well, I'll tell you what, she had an awful fall and she's hobbling. And Amy Pratt comes home for fourth place there. But I'll tell you what, in the words of my old colleague back in the 1980s, Colin Reitz, who took a world championship bronze medal in the steeplechase in the inaugural World Championships when Henry Marsh fell on the home straight when heading for third place, and Colin eased past him, clearing the barrier okay, and he was interviewed afterwards and he said, well, you've got to clear the barriers, haven't you? That was his comment. That was as subtle as was needed.
I remember watching that whirl. It was one of my abiding memories of the inaugural World Athletics Championships. All credit there to Pureth for pulling herself up off the ground. I think Lizzie Bird was closing in on her anyway, but the acceleration she produced over the last 600 metres was roared on by the crowd. It was a brilliant effort. She's broken her PB, Lizzie Bird, 9:17. That is an absolutely staggering performance. Chemetai's really hurt herself. She's done well to carry on and finish that race on the podium, the Olympic champion. But what a run by Bird to come through and separate the two East Africans with the first medal by an Englishwoman in this event.
Well, that's a terrible shame for Pureth Chemetai. Looks like she's really hurt herself. She must have been in agony. And the Australian, Brielle Erbacher, well, she's had a tough old night too. She must have been the faller earlier on in the race, but determined to carry on. The 23-year-old, her mum Jodie, I'm sure, will be in the crowd, and her teammates from the Darling Downs club back in Queensland will be so upset to see that result for her. But she'll be back for more. She's young and full of spirit, clearly. But Kenya's celebrating gold in the event that they feel they own. They've won 8 of the 12 medals in this event in the 4 previous editions of the Commonwealth Games. Well, now they have a 9th medal out of 15. And Lizzie Bird is on cloud 9. I don't think she can believe it. Coach Pat McCurry deserves a massive pat in the back for getting it right here. That is quite wonderful. Went out in her heat at the World Championships where she ran 9:23. That was still a solid run. But Rob, you're right, a personal best, 9:17 here. Only a couple of seconds off that British record of Amy Pratt.
Chemetai took such a heavy fall. It was a brilliant run by Bird for second. All credit to Chemetai for carrying on. Watch on the left of picture Fatigue was setting in. Okay, this isn't the fall. This is the moment that Bird went past her. And actually, if it had been another half a lap, Amy Pratt might well have caught Pureth Chematai. I thought Chematai might struggle with that last water jump, but she managed to vault it in her own slightly unique way. Pratt was just a little bit too far behind to make it 2 English women on the podium. But Jacqueline Chepkoech, what a talent she is. World junior champion, and at the tender age of 18 she's taken the Commonwealth title. Brilliant performance by the Kenyan.
2 big goals for that young Kenyan. What a talent they have there. I wonder how long it'll be before she joins that sub 9 minute club. Just 9 women in history have ever broken 9 minutes. Here's the fall, and she completely misjudges that. Too close to the barrier, takes off too close to the barrier. The technique of many of these South African athletes is anything but textbook, but it doesn't matter because normally they go around in lightning fast times and take medals and titles and records. But that looked very, very painful indeed. It was a heavy fall. She almost went over sideways, just clipped it with her foot. Well, there it is. Jacqueline Chepkoech adds Commonwealth gold to her World Under-20 gold in front of the home crowd last year. Well, this